As men of God, it's very important that we have a foundation. And what I mean by that is it's very important that the people that we hang around, that they're pushing us closer to God as well, that they're pushing us closer to Jesus Christ as well. You know what I mean? And you're not surrounded by people who are constantly listening to rap music that talks about murder and guns and drugs, right? You're not around people that listen to, things that are lowering their vibration, you know what I'm saying, lowering their energy, right? Constantly listening to the same music that's detrimental towards their spirit, right? And it's very important that we take note of that, right? The one thing that ruins, the minds of young men today is the influence that the music has on them, right? You got to remember, when you're listening to somebody who's constantly talking about fornicating or doing drugs, the spirits that the rapper holds, it's being transferred towards your ears, right? And then next thing you know, you start having thoughts of fornicating and doing bad things as well, right? They're literally transmuting spirits into your soul, right? By singing and rapping these lyrics, right? This is very deep. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think that when you go on hip hop radio, you know what I'm saying, it's mostly rappers who are just in the world? It's mostly rappers who are talking about murder, you know what I'm saying, fornicating and doing drugs, right? They're trying to push this agenda in order to harm young men, in order to harm their spirits and harm their minds, right? You have to make sure that the people that you are around, they are trying to get you closer to God as well. They are trying to save your soul as well, right? We have a job to do. We have a mission to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that if you really believe that Christ died for you, you will enter heaven, but you have to really believe that, bro. And this is not a game, right? That means that you have to change your whole lifestyle, right? You have to change your lifestyle, bro. You have to change the way that you live, right? Instead of living for the world, instead of living for other people's validation, you have to live for Christ, right? There's going to be a point of time, right, where the mark of the beast will come, right? And in order to buy something, you know what I'm saying, you have to have something implanted within your hand and within your brain in order to buy food, right? In order to buy drinks as well, in order to better your flesh, right? Do not take that mark, right? Do not take that chip, right? Because if you take the mark of the beast, you will not enter heaven. And that's what the Bible says, right? So remember that. Do not be so comfortable within your flesh to the point where you go against God, right? To the point where you constantly want to hang around people that are not doing any better for their lives, right? That are not working, that are just doing drugs 24/7, that are just, rapping about things that they shouldn't even be rapping about, right? Because most of them are not even about that life. Most of them are not even murderers or killers or any of that. But because of the fact that they're listening to that type of music 24/7, they create this fantasy of them all of a sudden becoming a killer. You know what I'm saying? That's what a demon does, right? It influences people into thinking that they're this person or that person, but in reality, you're a child of God, right? Demons, they control your minds, right? They make you have fantasies and create scenarios in your head to make you feel crazy, right? And you gotta understand that in order to, cleanse out your body, in order to, get rid of those thoughts, you gotta do fasting and prayer, right? I want y'all to fast, right? At least once in your life, fast, whether it's going a week without food and just drinking water, or going 3 days without food and water, right? Me personally, I went 3 days without food and water. And to be honest with you, I've been through experiences that made me get closer to God, right? What that does, it literally reveals the enemies around you, right? And it literally reveals the spirits that are watching you, that are preying on your downfall, right? This is deep, bro, right? And the spiritual realm is not a game to play with, right? And a lot of people like to play games with the spiritual realm by doing Ouija boards, by doing voodoo or witchcraft, you know what I'm saying? And they like to brainwash people into thinking that, that is the right way to, honor God, right? Or there's some people out there that worship themselves, right? You gotta understand, the only being that can get you into heaven is Christ and Christ only, right? And when you preach that, when you say that out loud, right, you become a target. You know what I'm saying? You become a target towards the enemy, and you will start to see people that will try to bring you down, or that will try to change your mind or change your faith and change your belief, right? And it's very important that you do not submit to them. It's very important that you do not submit to the devil, that you do not submit to the enemy, right? You gotta understand the enemy is smart and he is resilient, right? When you are a man of God, when you are a man of Christ, he will try his very best each and every day to bring you down. He will try your very best to make you submit to him. You know what I'm saying? And you have to build that authority within yourself to say no, right? Whenever you see a wicked spirit, whenever you see a monitoring spirit, you have to have the ability to rebuke it, right? You have to have the ability to put on an armor and to fight these demons off, not through drugs, right? Not through fornicating, right? Not through, listening to rap music, right? None of that is going to kill any of these demons, right? It doesn't matter if you have a gun, right? If you don't know how to use your mouth, if you don't know how to, to fast and pray to the Lord, that gun isn't going to really protect you, right? That isn't going to protect you from the devil. It may protect you from man, right? But it's not going to protect you from the devil. You don't understand that, right? There's a lot of people out here that are carrying weapons and guns and knives, thinking that, they're a big threat. You know what I'm saying? If the devil sees you with a gun and a knife, he's just going to laugh at you, because that's where he got you, right? You're literally working under the devil now, right? Because you think that having a gun and knife and thinking about killing somebody is, protecting yourself from the devil, and it's making you strong and it's getting you closer to God. No. Where in the Bible does it say that you must arm yourselves with weapons to protect your spirit? That's not going to protect your spirit. What's going to protect your spirit is the action of fasting and praying and communicating with the Lord and being strong within your faith, right? That's protecting you from the devil, right? And it ain't about being in the hood or going in these streets and killing people, acting like you're big and tough, you know what I'm saying, rapping about it. That's not going to protect you from what's coming when you die. And that's the main truth, right? And the agenda of America likes to push that narrative, right? Of, especially young black men, right? That they should be carrying guns and they should be rapping about things that they shouldn't be rapping about, right? It's all a system to bring children of God, men of God, women of God down, right? Being a man of God does not mean being a man of violence. If you're a man of violence, you cannot be a man of God. Because when you enter heaven, nobody's going to be carrying a gun. Nobody's going to be carrying a knife. Nobody's going to be listening to secular music, right? None of that is going to happen when you enter heaven. You don't understand that, right? And you know what you have to do. But the big question is, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to give your life to Christ, right? Are you willing to battle with your flesh each and every day in order to uplift your spirit? Are you willing to cleanse yourself, right? And understand that in order to enter heaven, you must not understand that Christ died for you, but you have to live like him as well. The same way that he's forgiven others, the same way that he was humble towards others, right? The same way that he was loving towards others, the same way that he didn't speak bad about anybody or speak negatively about anybody. Live like Christ, bro, and understand that you have to have people around you to push you in that direction, or else it's going to feel like you're lonely. Right? Be mindful of your circle. Be mindful of the people that surround you. With that being said, I'm going. Y'all take care.